folks, in honor of GM Appreciation Day and International Women's Day happening in the same week, today I'm sharing 8 women GMs that I think you should be following for inspiration. These women have all had some kind of influence, some inspiration on how I run my games. I've gotten to meet a couple of them, and others are just folks that I enjoy following online and hearing their tips on how they run their games. To start off is a name that you probably will recognize, Satine Phoenix. She's the Dungeon Master on the Sirens of the Realm. She also has a great series of Game Master tips out on YouTube that I've watched and incorporated into how I run my own games. The next is Dale Kingsmill. She runs her own home game. She makes a bunch of YouTube videos, a lot on mythology, and she's got her own series running now. But what I really enjoy is she has a couple of videos, diaries kind of, on her GM style and specifically on her binder and like how she organized maps and things like that. That definitely, as I was planning out my campaign, I was watching some of those things to try and figure out how do I go about organizing all of these ideas. Next up is Dr. Megan Connell. She runs Clinical Role, which is all psychologists and psychiatrists playing Dungeons and Dragons. She also has a great series of psychology at the table that I think is really great, not only for game masters to watch, but also players to figure out, like, how do you cope with having a nervous player at the table, having a player who might have some mental health issues, as well as just like, how does gaming affect us? So really great. She also was on a panel with me at Gen Con, and you can go check that video out up here. Next up is Becky Rose. I actually got the pleasure of playing in one of Becky's online games a couple of years ago and have kept in touch with her. Really enjoy the Pair of Geeks YouTube channel that she runs with her partner, and they've been doing some really great interviews. Not only is it getting her tips and how she tends to approach games, but also getting some other folks' input on how they run games. So one of the GMs that's outside of the primarily Dungeons and Dragons games on this list is Darcy Ross. She works for Monty Cook Games and also runs a lot of games in the Cypher system. I've gotten to try that system out, and it's a little bit different. She's somebody that I recently discovered, but really enjoy her input into the community. Next up is somebody who's known probably a little bit more for the characters that she plays, but she also is a GM, and that's Holly Conrad. You probably know her as Strix from Dice Camera Action. I love her, just hearing about how she plays that character, hearing her input in the community. She also has this great Mental Health Monday on her Twitch that I think is just a good thing to be talking about just in general. Next up is somebody else that I've recently started following because of her Game Master abilities, and that's Deborah Ann Wool. I haven't seen much of Relics and Rarity, which is the game she's running on Geek and Sundry, but when she appeared on Critical Role, and then the little bit I have seen, she is really great at coming up with really interesting characters, interesting descriptions especially, and has kind of inspired me to look at some of the ground, like the spells and stuff like that, and see where I can take that as a basis and expand and make it into this cool, like, describing a little bit more of my worlds. Last but not least is Marisha Ray, best known for Critical Role, but I love Honey Heist. And she's also just a great individual as a role model of such a force of nature, and a good positive influence in the community. So those are some of the women I turn to for inspiration and as role models when it comes to being a game master. There are a lot more women game masters out there that need a lot more love. Let me know down in the comments below who you tend to turn to for inspiration, and I'll make sure to go check them out. If you haven't already, make sure to give a big thanks to your GM. I have had some amazing GMs over the year and want to personally thank all of them. Ryan, Tucker, Steven, all of the GMs that I've had at conventions. Thank you so much. I also want to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, especially Eleni. Hey, thank you so much, Eleni. Our patrons help us make these videos. If you want to help support us, you can head over to our Patreon. You can also like and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos, but we make new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, thanks you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye! Women G. Almost did it! One take. We're going for one take.